Hi guys, welcome to my channel Elemental Education. So today we'll be discussing about electricity, that is first chapter of physics in class 10 CBSE board, you can see. So what is electricity? Electricity is a kind of energy. In our way of education or physics, you can say it's a kind of energy. So electricity has different uses, like we can see electricity is used in home for all the appliances. You can take like fridge, AC, geyser, everything. So similarly we use in industrial purpose as well, and even in transportation nowadays we are using electricity. Like electric trains are quite popular these days. Gone are the days of diesel and coal engines. And you can see we have EV vehicles, electric vehicles also in place nowadays. They are going they are in boom in the market. So to reduce the footprint of environment, carbon footprint of our environment, so we are using electric vehicles. So we are switching over to electricity. So that is why it is quite important for us to study electricity. And see, electricity, before we start, we should know electricity are of two types. One is static electricity, another is current electricity. So if you take an example, what is static electricity? Static electricity is the electricity we are getting when we rub a glass rod with a silk, or when we rub ebonite rod with wool. This produces static electricity. Current electricity or dynamic electricity is that which is flowing across the wire or a conductor or an appliance. So current electricity that we get from our grid, 220 volt electricity what we get in our supply in our home, is called current electricity, or you can say it's current, electric current. Don't worry for the notes. I'll give you in the end of the video all the definition, formulas, whatever is important. Please just take a note, focus what I am making you understand. If you have any doubt, comment me in the video description so that I can reply you as soon as possible. So concentrate here. So having the knowledge of what is static and current electricity, we'll switch over, because the static electricity is not our part of study. We'll be studying current, electric current. Before that, let us discuss what constitute an electricity, electric current. Flow of charge. Flow of charge is current. Flow of charge is electric current. It may be a positive charge or a negative charge. As you know, charges are of two types. See, in our syllabus for today, we have charge, types of charge, electron, types of material based on the charge and the construction of the material, electric potential, potential difference, electric current, and what is an electric circuit. So, flow of charge is called electricity. If we know what is a flow of charge is electricity, there are two types of charges, positive and negative. If you consider a circuit, this is a load or a resistance, this is a voltage source, or you can say battery, whatever it is. So an electric current usually is denoted to be flowing from positive to negative in a closed circuit, whereas electrons flow in the opposite direction. Electrons flow from negative to positive. But when electricity was discovered, first, that time they thought like actually protons are flowing, protons or positive charge is flowing, which was later confirmed that only negative charge flow across the circuit. Whereas inside a battery or a source, from negative, see, this is flowing this way, but actually electricity flows this way, from negative to positive, whereas outside the circuit electricity flow this way. Electricity flow outside the circuit from positive to negative, whereas inside the circuit it flows from negative to positive. So this is about electricity, how it flows. Now we'll go for charge. What is charge? If I tell you what is charge or how it flows, before that we should know charge SI unit is Coulomb, or it is denoted by C. So, charge, we know there are two types of charge, positive and negative charge. So, SI unit is Coulomb. One electron is having 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb. See, one electron is having 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb. This is the charge of electron. You must note this. So, if we derive like 1 Coulomb of charge, 1 Coulomb of charge having how many electrons then? 1 Coulomb of charge equal to 1 by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, that substituting the value C equal to 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. These many number of electrons, charge of these many number of electrons together contribute to 1 Coulomb of charge. Now, this is done. So, keep the note, just note the value of charge of an electron or how many electrons are present in 1 Coulomb of charge. We will be using in our problems, whatever we will be solving in the next video. So, now we will be going for types of material. So, types of material are divided into two types. For your understanding in your textbook, it is of two types. One is conductor, another is insulator. Whereas, there is a third kind of material, it is known as semiconductor. Conductor, insulator and semiconductor. Okay. So, what is an conductor? That allows flow of electricity. What is an insulator? That does not allow the flow of electric current. What is semiconductor? It allows flow of part flow. You can say partly allows, partly or partially. Partially it allows the flow of electricity. That is called semiconductor. So, we will be studying two things. This will be covered in higher classes. So, you see, conductor, any metal you take like iron, copper, aluminium, these are all conductors. Why? They have free electrons. Free electrons. Those contribute for the flow of electricity. Whereas insulator doesn't have any, don't have free electrons. So, there is no current flow through it. We can tell like wood, rubber, paper, these are all insulators. What is a semiconductor then? Semiconductor are kind of material which allow part, or you can say they have only few free electrons, which allow only partial flow of electricity. So, where we can use this, we are using in all the electronics components. You might have seen like diodes are semiconductors, diodes, LEDs, these are all semiconductors. So, knowing this, we should know how the electricity flows and what is the role of free electron. So, this is out of your textbook, but you should know to understand the basic concepts of electricity. See, suppose this is a material. Suppose I am taking this is a material. They have several atoms in it. A material consists of so many atoms. So, we know a atom looks like this. This is a nucleus. This nucleus is of neutrons plus protons. So, neutrons are neutral in charge and protons are positive in charge. So, it is overally positive. So, like we have in solar system, sun is there, all the planets are revolving around it. Similarly, we have cells here. These are called cells. In these, electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Why? This is negative, this is positive. So we know the property of charge. There are two property of charge. Property of charge. One is positive or negative. Suppose there are unequal charges, they attract each other. If there are equal charges, they repel each other. These two properties. So how, see, this is the attraction force between electrons and this positive nucleus. So there is it is bound together and it tries to flee away. Okay, it tries to flee away. So it exhibits a trajectory motion. So obviously it will go on a circular motion. So these electrons are tightly bound with this nucleus with this attraction force or gravitational force, whatever you can say. Similarly, the outermost electrons, the materials or metals like iron, copper, these are good conductors. So these people, what they do, the outermost electrons, cell, this outermost cell, there is some one or two free electrons. They are lightly bound. They are not tightly bound. So what happens when it is, see, the property of electron is whenever it is getting an external energy. Suppose you are standing here, somebody is coming very fast and hitting you. So he is transferring energy to you. Ultimately, you are in motion from inertia. So this motion again you are transferring to somebody else. Similarly, it happens here. Electricity, one electron is coming, outermost loose electron, it is bombarding with it. It transfers the energy to this electron. It jumps outside the cell. It again transferred to somebody else, again come back to its cell. So this property gives to electricity flow. Electricity flow. This process makes the electricity to flow. This is called electric current. So we know, suppose wood, if you take wood, all the atoms are tightly packed. But inside that, even if there are electrons, even wood atom has all the electrons, whatever is needed. But it doesn't have free electrons, which contribute for electricity flow. If it doesn't have free electrons, there won't be any conductivity. So now we understood what is free electron, how the electricity flows inside the material, what contributes to the property. Now we should go for what is electric potential. Potential in English we know it's called ability. Ability of what? Of capability. Of what? Of doing something. Similarly, in electricity, electric potential is known as the ability or the amount of energy required. So electric potential is now denoted as, it is done in a single point, electric potential. So what I can define? An electric potential at a point is defined as the amount of energy required to bring a unit of charge from infinity to that point. Electric potential at point A is amount of energy required to bring a unit of charge from infinity to that point. This is called electric potential. So suppose I am bringing 2 units of charge, then electric potential will be 2 units, because we need double the energy. If 1 unit of charge, how much energy we require? 2 units of charge will require double the energy. Similarly, if I ask you what is potential difference, then we got what is electric potential. What is potential difference? Potential difference is measured in between 2 points, point A and potential difference is measured in two points, point A and point B. So potential difference, I'll say VAB is equal to VA minus VB. Suppose electric potential at point is 7 volt, point B is 5 volt, that means potential difference is 2 volt. So electric potential unit is volt, V-O-L-T, volt. Remember this. Similarly, we should know what is electric current. See, potential difference we are creating across a conductor. So when we create a potential difference, suppose this is a bulb, okay? This is point A, this is point B. I am connecting it to a battery, positive, negative. I am connecting to a battery source. So what it does, suppose the battery is of 12 volt, it creates a potential difference of 12 volt. That means it creates a force of 12 volt. We can understand in this way. So when it creates a potential difference of 12 volt, it will push the electrons to flow from here to here. So the current flows in the opposite direction. See, this is a resistance, or you can say this is a bulb, is a load. So this flow of, due to potential difference, the flow of electrons is called electric current. So we understood what is electric current. Electric current is denoted by I, and its SI unit is ampere. Ampere. So voltmeter is measured by an instrument called voltmeter. Note this. These things are important. Voltmeter. Similarly, SI unit of electric current is ampere. It is measured by ammeter. Ammeter. But the deflection or the presence of current can be measured by galvanometer. Now, what is electric current then? We understood everything about electric current. What is electric current? I is denoted by Q by T. So, electric current is defined as the amount of charge travels per unit time. Amount of charge travels per unit time is called electric current. So this is denoted as Q is coulomb, T is seconds, coulombs per second, or it's an ampere. Now your task is you go home, take any electrical device, like you have your mobile charger as well, you can go and check behind it, it will be having specifications. So there it will have potential difference specification, that is volt ratings, it will be there 220 volt or 230 volt. There will be a range 210 to 220. Similarly, it will be having a current range of 0.3 ampere or 0.5 ampere. So that is this one, how much current it will allow to pass through it in a maximum load condition. So that is called. So go home, check these things. So you will be understanding what the specification stands for and how to apply those ideas in our book or whatever you have studied. Now we will go for what is an electric circuit. Electric circuit is a path. Circuit is path. Because what we say as path is, suppose we see MotoGP race. In that the racers are completing the tracks or lap, whatever you say. So this is called a closed circuit. Why it is called circuit? Because it's a closed path. Starting and ending point are joined together. It's a circuit. Similarly, in electric current, electric circuit is like, it's a closed path. It may have resistance, components, whatever components you want, you can add. Resistance, capacitance, okay. Then you can put a potentiometer or you can put a voltage source. So this completes a circuit. This is a complete circuit. Sorry, this is a complete circuit. This is a complete circuit. Why? Because the electricity is able to pass through it. If I cut the wire or there is a switch, if I open the switch, open switch is this symbol. If I open the switch, then there is no flow of electricity. So it's a open circuit, it's not a closed circuit. So electric circuit is always a closed circuit. So we are done with our part 1 of electricity. There are few symbols you should know. This is an fixed resistance R. This is an variable resistance we will be using in our electric circuits. This is a capacitance. Okay, this is a wire AB. This is a symbol of a single cell V. It's a single cell. This is the symbol of multiple cells. We tell it as a battery. It's a battery. This symbol of load or bulb. So remember these symbols. You will be using this. These are quite common. So guys, this is the first part of electricity. Mostly we will have 3 or 4 or 5 parts mostly. So it's a very vast chapter, but it's very easy to understand. Understand the concepts, basics, go through it, read your textbooks, wherever you are getting any knowledge about electricity, gather it, apply in practical life to understand how electricity works. Then if you have any doubt, please comment it in my video. I'll just, if you have any doubt, I'll just reply you back, and like and subscribe my channel. This is electricity part 1. I'll be coming with the next video of, if you want the problem solving questions or whatever you want questions to solve, I'll just help you out here, or else we'll continue the text, whatever you are studying, we'll go for the theory part. Later on we'll go for the problems. So please comment on that what you want. I'll just make the video. So thanks for watching. Thanks and bye bye.